All right, good stuff. You guys want to come on up? The people who are here in the flesh, the creepiest way to put it. So, you guys just want to come up and line up. We'll just go down the line. So,
You want me to start?
Yep.
Okay, I wanted to go first because I have 3 words out of my 5 words that are left after listening to those. But everything was so good. I love the information today. What I think of in our house, or that's really important, are the words that you use, the love that you show, and disciplining with the end in mind. It was really important in our house when we resolve conflict to show these things. And I remember there were several things. We talked about the S word. You might have one that comes to mind. Our S word was shut up and stupid, or you are stupid. Those just weren't allowed, and that's something we always agreed on. And whenever that happened, or whenever there was a conflict hitting, whatever, with our 4 kids, we always insisted that they say they're sorry and also hug with the end in mind that these siblings you have, one day you're going to be best friends with each other. And we kept talking about that, and I think that's true. I think that's right. They choose each other all the time to hang out with, and they still love us too, I think.
Yeah, and the other S would be smoking. If you were smoking, you were going to hell. Now, we didn't teach them that, but they just jumped to that one. Oh, look, Mommy, they're smoking there. They're going to hell. So we got out of the Baptist church as soon as we could. Just kidding, just to salvage them. The discipline thing for us, and I don't have a quote, maybe it's my own quote, that I looked around and I realized that somebody was going to be in charge, and I decided it was going to be me. They're like, you're going to let your 3-year-old be in charge, or you're going to let your 5-year-old? Somebody in your house is in charge right now. Like, if you're honest enough to just look at it, and over time they're going to be. Someday your teen's going to ride you if you let them be in charge. Like, you're just setting yourself up for this 18-year arm wrestling match, and I just thought that's not the role God put me in, and I just believe that. And so today I would really encourage you at some point in this journey, and I don't know where you are. I mean, I know the pendulum has swung the other way. My dad was a definite one. Spank them, beat it out of them. It was a black belt, all that stuff. Loved my dad, all that kind of stuff. I didn't go to counseling, neither did he. We did fine. But I understand the pendulum has swung, and that was too far that way. And we swung the other way. Maybe there's some now tension with it. But I'm telling you, on the other side of it, like, you need to sit down and talk about that. The lack of discipline in your home will really help you accomplish the goals you have. What's the point of us putting all these goals together for your family, and you let a non-disciplined child or home destroy it and undermine it? We are wasting our time filling out paperwork. That there needs to be, I think we all understand, there needs to be this underpinning because your child is going to go into other environments where there are going to be authorities. And I wanted them to learn it in ours, and so that they could function correctly in kindergarten and in high school and someday on the job site and our own home. We can move on to having fun. Like, what fun is it fighting with your kid all the time? So I'm going to give you, because I'm a pastor and I have S's, I'm going to give you 4 of them. I'm going to get out of your way. The first one would be, see how this helps you with your goal. Just be on, just whatever space you are in today, just stop and see if some discipline in the home would really help you with your goals. The other, start early. The earlier you start, the better. And so wherever you are, figure out, okay, well, man, we've just kind of missed it. Because that consequence things are important. This is what's going on in our Kid City world, and these are conversations we have in the pastoral world. It is more difficult for children in the children's area because we have a more undisciplined environments. Like, the kids are, like, they're not responding so easily. This does not happen in Wadsworth. This is Doylestown only. And I love the fact that I'm over here because I can talk about those nuts over in Doylestown. And they won't ever hear about it, and we're going to bleep this out of the video. Well, we literally have to get kids to get off the table. Like, would you please get off our table? We're trying to teach a class. And they don't, they don't respond by it. So, start early and develop that. Stay steady. Just stay on it. Like, you can't be disciplined and talk about it one week, the next week you let it fly open. Kids can't fluctuate that quickly. It just makes it really crazy. And then seek to know your kids. Like, you have to know what form of discipline works on each of the kids. Like we have a strong-willed child. And we have 4 kids. So I get half the time Mike got because he had 8. But we have a strong-willed child. We have a more compliant child that didn't, and they were all just different. But you have to understand your child. What works on one doesn't work on the other one. So you kind of, if you can't just blanket this thing, you got to study them and get to know them, and that will help you with the discipline. But throwing discipline to the wind will not help you. It won't. So you process it out. You get it figured out. But don't leave it out. Okay? You're up.
Edward told me, said 90 seconds, so I don't have any notes. If I brought notes, we'd be here all day. But what I want to tell you is that the more consistent you are in discipline, you will see rewards much quicker than you think. We always had a simple rule that when we tell you something, you're expected to obey. And I remember the first time that I realized this is actually working. We were in Florida visiting my mom and dad. Danny and Amber, our oldest 2, were with us. And Danny was doing something he shouldn't be doing. And so I just said, "Hey, Dan, come here." And he came around to the table. I told him, I said, "This is what's got to change. And, everything will be fine if you'll do that." He went back and he changed. Now, it didn't always happen this way, but that time it happened perfectly. No discipline was needed. He did exactly what we asked. My sister came up a little bit later and she said, "What did you tell him?" She's expecting I had some kind of magic word that I gave him or something. I said, "I just told him what I expected him to do." When you set an expectation, you have to make sure that you follow through. And soon in your parenting of young children, you'll start to see the result of being consistent.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Laura, do you want to turn or no? All right. She's going to yell. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Cool. All right. So again, the point being, take the tips and tricks, but also just it's sort of recognizing that we're a church and we can rely on one another, not just Google things and figure out what to do and hope for the best. All right. How about what you got?
So, do the offspring get to rebuttal?
No. There are a lot in this room, though. I thought that was funny. Do the offspring get to rebuttal? So that was a funny thought.
That didn't work.
Yeah. All right. 60-second break. We got to go quick. So quick break, and then we'll do the last session.